Mike Tobin, thank you.
Walz also a strong supporter of squad member Ilhan Omar, whose job is on the line in Minnesota tonight. If Omar can't rally the votes in the primary, she would be the third squad member to be unseated in a primary so far.
But it's these same far-left policies that Walz is supporting. Watch what he said or had to say about the Congresswoman previously, Ilhan Omar.
When I'm having a tough day or I'm out on about mile 5 of my run and I'm feeling kind of down and the world's pressing on me, I think Ilhan Omar's a congresswoman, and it just brightens you up. So thank you.
Joining us now, the Ben Ferguson Show host and Verdict with Ted Cruz podcast co-host, Ben Ferguson, and host of Stacy on the Right on SiriusXM Patriot. Stacy, Washington, great to see both of you. Ben Ferguson, there might be one less raging anti-Semite in Congress.
Wouldn't that be a nice day for America, right? If we have people that don't stand with the terrorists or people that refer to the 9/11 terrorists as some people that did something. Never forget that statement from the squad members. Some people that did some things referring to 9/11 terrorist attackers. Look, I think right now there's a very interesting point in Minnesota that's happening. And it's they went so far to the extreme that maybe there's a little bit of a course correction here. And that could be a good thing, especially if America finds out exactly what their governor stands for and also who he stands with. You look at that report and like, oh, they're not close friends. That's crap. And I think everyone knows it. They can witness it. They can look at them together. You can watch the press conferences. You can see how they talk to one another like they are friends. And when you look at this governor, he's standing there with Ilhan Omar and the other squad members talking about how on his run he's inspired and just happy that she's in Congress. It tells you what a radical he actually is. This is a man that the media has tried to whitewash and say, no, he's just a moderate Southern governor. No, he's not. He's not a Southern or mid-Southern or anything but a radical extremist who's running as the vice president. So I will say this. The media has done a good job protecting him so far. I don't know how much longer they can continue to do it, though.
But, Stacy, it doesn't really matter. You can be Kamala Harris and you can support a ban on fracking and no borders and, single-payer health care. You can be Tim Walz inside with the most radical element in your state and radical clerics, and you just can whitewash it all. None of it matters. None of your prior policies or relationships matter. You get a fresh start if you're a Democrat candidate for president, or that's what the media tries to do for him.
Sean, it's actually because he has twinkly eyes and he's cuddly. And that's what I'm supposed to focus on instead of the price at the grocery store. When I'm at the grocery store and I'm shopping and I have the little double-decker cart that I'm supposed to use when I'm running in to get one or two things, but instead I'm doing a whole week's worth of groceries in that puppy and I still end up spending $340, I don't care what he feels like, looks like, or even smells like, because it's highly unlikely that I'll ever be in his presence. What I'm looking for are some policy proposals, and I haven't seen any on their website. There's nothing that they're doing except stealing ideas from Trump, who they claim to hate. They claim he is an existential threat to America, yet all of his ideas are good enough to steal and crib at their rallies. And so she has nothing on the calendar for today. We're literally sitting here talking about a woman who is supposed to be a bright, shining beacon of light. Especially for me as a black woman, I'm supposed to pay more attention to her ethnicity than her policies. But I'm a grown up, I have a mortgage, I have a family, and I have real life to live. And I don't care what she looks like or sounds like or what kind of outfits she wears or if she's brat. What I care about is what's she going to do about the fracking ban? What's she going to do about the energy costs? How's she going to get that war in the Ukraine ended? How's she going to bring peace in the Middle East? How's she going to bring good domestic policy to this country? I don't see her talking about any of that, and I'm not voting for her.
It's all up on her website. It's under her policies on her website. Oh, wait, there are no policies on her website. There's nothing on the website, but my name is Kamala, and I'm here to save the day.
No, it's the emoji looks like this. It's the vibes. It's all about the vibes. Yeah. All right, speaking of no interviews, where in the world is Kamala Harris? 23 days since Biden dropped out. She hasn't had a single press conference, but Eric Swalwell says she's doing enough.
She's also, been going across the country, filling arenas and talking about what she's going to do. She's stopping, before going on stage and talking to reporters, and I expect more of that as we go into the convention on Monday.
Newsflash, that tour is long over, so what's her excuse now? Even liberal CNN is going after her campaign spokesperson with the same questions. Watch.
What's on the vice president's schedule today? Well, she's traveling and talking to voters and getting her message out there to the American people, something that she's been doing from the very start of this campaign.
I was asking about today, and I don't think she's got any campaign events on the schedule today, does she?
Well, she and Governor Walz have been traveling across the country. They hit nearly every battleground state last week.
It seems like she has time, if she wanted, to do an interview with a member of the media or do a news conference, correct? There does appear to be that time if she wanted.
Well, look, she has said on the campaign trail that she would be doing an interview at some point.
At some point, I don't know where she is.
Yeah.
Stacy?
Yeah. Look.
Or Ben, go ahead.
No, I just think it's hilarious that anyone is surprised by this strategy. She is a big liability when you put her in front of a camera or in front of someone in the media. They're going to hide her the same way they hid Joe Biden. This is the basement strategy without having an agenda of what she actually stands for on her website. Because at the end of the day, this is a coronation. The media is giving $1 billion in-kind donation to Kamala Harris's campaign. The Democrats knew they were going to lose with Joe Biden. They were given a lifeboat, even if it's a crappy lifeboat, and Kamala Harris with a bad record and no policies. At least it's a lifeboat that's not going underwater. And so I think the strategy for them is, look, this is how little confidence they have in her as a candidate. She cannot handle the big interviews. She cannot handle the press. So we're going to hide her. We're going to let the press do their job for us, which is to keep her out there and make her popular. Right. Throw her on the front of every magazine, and everyone's going to love her. But
the question, Stacy, is, will this actually work? Can she actually not do interviews, not have policy? She has a honeymoon bump, but will that continue, or is she going to have to actually answer the questions for the American people?
She will have to, Sean. And you know what, Dagan? One of my favorite things about her is that this is actually the first stock photo candidacy, stock presidency in waiting that we've ever had here in this country. So look for her to actually have to sit down and do some interviews. I'm looking forward to the debate. I have special popcorn on order that I'll be eating while we cover it live. I'm telling you, just as sure as I'm sitting here, Black America today, paying my taxes, it's going to be rough.
It is going to be rough, and I'm going to pop my popcorn too, Stacy. Stacy and Ben, thanks for being with us. We always appreciate it. You always bring the fire. We love that.
Great to see you.